That's great. I think I heard a lot about machine learning. So his curiosity is not going away. I think the same is with you also. You all are getting excited as I keep on explaining. Same is with the Mr. Samrat Kumar actually. He's very fascinating and an interesting person, and he has a lot of curiosity, and it seems like he want to deep dive into this domain of smart manufacturing, and he's keep on thinking about his own facility. And this keywords, if you see that these keywords he keep on capturing with different conferences, sessions, visits, exhibitions, but he never implemented in his own facility, but he was always not clear what to do with this. So now I think this is the way. Once we start interacting, once we involve you, once we guide you, at least you will be in a position to try out some of these solutions in your facility. And I think those who are from a manufacturing facilities or manufacturing industries, they will certainly be look forward to try out some of these implementations. Certainly he has a curiosity that to know about the machine learning, and he was just asking, can this happen help in the manufacturing, because he heard about machine learning examples in other domains, but is there any possibility to use machine learning in manufacturing? So certainly yes, we have a lot of use cases of machine learning in manufacturing as well. So we explained to him that once he planned to go with the machine learning, there is certainly a possibility to get an unprecedented insight, because insight is very important, and we have explained that unprecedented insight into operation will be possible with the machine, because we may not be able to process so much data in the real time actually, and that this will be helping in improving the efficiency, the safety of the operations, optimizing the processes, faster decision making. And the possible use cases would be the predictive maintenance. That is how we have suggested that he can power his maintenance with the machine learning actually. So the approach would be that we need to fed the operation technology data into the system, we need to fetch the IoT data, and then some manufacturing process information being made available. So once the data is available, that's how we build up in the first two layer of the implementation actually. Once that is there, certainly the AI will be helping us in detecting the anomaly, and then suggest the methods, or the find out the patterns, find out the cause, and then certainly we'll be in a position to suggest the measures to take care of. So I think that's a way the predictive maintenance can happen, and we can unleash the power of machine learning to analyze very large amount of the data in the real time, and most important part, to at least build up an actionable responses. So knowing is not enough, means we need to act also actually. So if somebody is there to process and a huge data and then help you out, these are the certain 4 or 5 actions to be taken immediately, then I think that's the best option that we can get. And you can monitor basically health and behavior of each asset actually into the system. You can prevent the system from a faster deterioration, and prior to malfunction you will come to know about that. I think that is the way the machine learning can help in doing the predictive maintenance. Another area that can be used this is in predicting the product quality actually, because this is another area. One is about the machine, another is about the product actually. So quality of the output is very crucial, and rarely we come to know in the real time. Many times we'll come to know about the product quality once it goes out of the shift, because 7 hours of the production has happened, or you may be testing on a batch also, so maybe the complete batch will go waste. So we would like to build up in a systems where we will be able to find out the variations in the real time actually. So if you know the product quality beforehand, then certainly you will be able to prevent the wastage of the raw material, and then you can save the valuable production time also. I think these kind of use cases can be done, and that's nice. If you see, there is some of the examples people have already done. So this is the ML in machining. People have deployed some of the use cases for the machine learning in machining operations, where they will be trying to predict the tool we are monitoring. They will be predict the breakage of the tool, energy consumption predictions, remaining useful life of the prediction, the roughness prediction. I think people have done a lot of implementation. So this is taken from the reference only, where they have captured these are the inputs. So it's the guidelines can be taken from the literature that they have done. So they have captured the tool images, they have monitored the cutting forces and the power consumption data. So whatever sensors you have integrated into your system, they will certainly be now helpful in implementing these kind of use cases. And the interesting part that if you find here, the accuracy of the prediction is much better here. So if you see that the accuracy of the prediction is basically even to some extent reaching 99.3 or 99.20, and certainly most of them are near 90%. So the prediction is very good actually in this case. So if you can build any of these use cases in machining or in other operations, that will be really nice. And the most important part, we need to understand the subject of machine learning and over and above the machining actually. So we cannot say that only the data scientists will be able to do this kind of an implementations. We need a domain experts who understand the process, you understand the product and the process parameters, because the initial data is very useful. What kind of features you will be extracting here, what kind of pre-processing you will be doing over here, that's the way to go ahead, and then only you will be able to arrive at such a good prediction accuracies again. So these are the possible, but this will be certainly a good evidence which will enable us to try out some of the use cases of machine learning in manufacturing as well. We have also explained him the concept of a digital twin, though he was not very interested in the beginning. It's fine. So I said, when you are learning so many things, let's understand what the digital twin also, because these are the upcoming technologies people are talking about these days. So I think if you are already implementing the previous technology, this is another version that you can have. So you can build a digital replica of the physical system over here. So if you see that we have a physical machine with the kind of an interface is already explained in the past slides. You have an IIoT, you have a CPS, you have a machine learning. With this kind of an interface with the physical science, data science, and the learning, you can build a digital twin of your machine. And the good part is that now once the twin is ready, you will be able to question the twin. You can try out this twin for various responses without implementing physical processes. So I can try out whether this part can be manufactured on this machine or this part can be assembled in this. Not if I will assemble it, how much will be the time. The good thing is it's not just simulation. This is much more than simulation. It will take care into the real time status of the machine. It's not that I'm just using some of the mathematical model only. The learning from the actual machine operation will also be imbibed into this models actually. So later on, then you can have this questions, can you assemble? So many times you have a product and you want to do a prototyping actually, or you may be interested in doing a trial run into your machining itself or to facility itself before you commit to the customer. Now this kind of technology can help you in doing those kind of evaluation much faster actually, and then you can have a much better interaction with this.